Peace, everyone. How y'all doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrines Google Hangout. I'm your host, Carl Lavert, and you have now entered into Israel Doctrines Google Hangout. And the title of today's show is He is Sexing Him Tonight, Khalil Omani and 10 Toes Down. Should be an interesting show tonight. I won't be there because I don't really care about it. But y'all make it the best show you ever made before. And tomorrow, some other time, I download it and put it in my archives so I can have it as a trinket. What y'all do? I mean, y'all haven't had the Whack 100 stuff. Y'all haven't had this and that. Y'all just do what y'all want to do. Y'all pimping YouTube. Pimp on, player, pimp on. I have no problem with what y'all doing out here in these YouTube streets. It ain't gonna change what I've been doing since the beginning. So do what you do. Do your worst and try to accomplish your mission. Because none of y'all have the guts to ask the other about me. So I don't care what you're saying anyway. You're not putting food on my table, and what I can't eat won't make me shit. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna let y'all shit.
You already know the motto. Rich niggas fly out. Wealthy niggas fly out. And no kid. You broke ass niggas. Continue to walk out. All stay dark. Oh yeah, we'll be a part to the babies.
Back in the 80s and 90s, niggas was getting money. Drinks was 20. Shorties running around with the missiles on straight dummy. Them legs on them chickens was spreading like shit rummy. Dealing with a bad hand, but we dealt with it like a man. Got our fingernails dirty, we dealing it hand to hand. Never laid it to heart that the government had a plan. Shit, they let us on the plane with just Vaseline and Saran. So we assembled our 18s, hopping out of them vans. 5.0s and typhoons, the ghetto tycoons. Car booties got moist when them engines would come. To blame it on Ronald Reagan, he let all the cocaine in. Papa Bush was the head of the CIA then. One of his chemists made a mixture called crack. It attaches to melanin, so it's worse if you're black. Nancy Reagan ways to go on drugs. Translation in the ghetto, it's a war on us. Back then it was Reaganomics. You for the block. 36 months for a $5 rock. Mama's rent is 900, but it's 20 for my chain. The more things change, the more that they stay the same. It's Obamanomics.
It's Obamanomics.
It's Obamanomics. Tomorrow. It's Obamanomics. Fast forward to 2012. We still in hell. OGs is dead, just coming home, or still in jail. It's like they coming to a new world. The aftermath of crack. A rapper owns a team. The president is black. Yet still, most of us in the trap. The game's evolving, but most of us can't adapt. Back in 90, our troops invaded Iraq. 2012, Obama just brought them back. Back then, you was killing them in the lag. Now they act like you can't stun if it's under 100 racks. We's got no steeds. Tro is the new hustle. It's a million CEOs. Every rapper is Russell. We eat McDonald's, wash it down with our Coca-Cola. Hopes of being rich, reduce the lotto at the local store. You really ballin' or you really poor? Eating off the floor. We call it Obama. You for the block. 36 months for a $5 rock. Mama's rent is 900, but it's 20 for my chain. The more things change, the more that they stay the same. It's Obamanomics. It's Obamanomics. Tomorrow. It's Obamanomics.
All right, y'all, let's get into this show a little bit. Give me a little time, a little of your effort and everything. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to give y'all some past history and bring y'all up to history, up to date. So this was the 11th, 2017. And I was inboxing Layla Wheels on Facebook.
Carl Peace, how you doing? I would like to share something with you. Please let me know what you think about if you like. I believe Hassan Campbell was a co-conspirator and participant in Afrika Bambaataa sexual assault of children who is not of the legal age of consent.
So as you can see, Carl wrote, "Peace, how you doing?" Talking nice to the hood rat, hoochie mama from Chicago, Illinois, Ida Wells. I would like to share something with you. Please let me know what you think about it if you like. I believe Hassan Campbell was a co-conspirator and participant in Bambaataa sexual assault of children who was not of legal age of consent. We'll go on a little bit more. See, I've been active since day one. I don't have to get active. All these niggas got active after I got active. I created everybody on YouTube to get active. And you see all of them, they stay together, they run together, they interview each other, they be sexing online.
Bambaataa abused vulnerable boys from broken homes and sought to keep the abuse a secret through community influence and bankrolling members of the community. Campbell states that he was a part of the community that was bankrolled by Bambaataa for years to keep the abuse cover up. Yes, it would seem that Campbell was bankrolled to be a co-conspirator and participant in covering up the rumors in the Bronx River and hip-hop community for Bambaataa, and also bankrolled to keep his own claims of sexual abuse covered up, after coming out on Facebook with a video of allegation of sexual abuse on Bambaataa himself.
Oh, Carl Albert Davis was warning Layla Wheels about her son Campbell before she even dropped that damn documentary, before she did anything. I told her of her star being a co-conspirator with Afrika Bambaataa to do all the things he doing. Ron Savage was playing with him then. Ron was playing the game. He was fighting for the Child Victim Act, all this shit. He knew I was active on this shit. And he started playing chess with their ass. He got behind me and showed me love. Khalil Money was running with me at that time. We was fucking them up so bad.
Yet, community influence and bankrolling members of the community isn't the only method in which Bambaataa and the Zulu Kemetic Muyors used to keep victims and the community silent on matter of sexual abuse. The Zulu Kemetic Muyors also, as an organization, sent out death threats to keep its victims quiet and others who would speak out about matter of child sexual abuse.
So I told her, the Zulus, they not just bankrolling people, they giving death threats, they doing all kind of things to intimidate people in the community so they can keep effing the boys. And don't think that GJK Slate wasn't going to get the boys with the other Zulu members so Bambaataa can have sex with them. Yeah, that's where Khalil come in at. He was running with the guy that's about to get his boss, Bambaataa, her son, and all these damn people locked up.
There are YouTubes out there of Campbell speak on receiving threats himself coming from the Zulu Kemetic Muyors when his Facebook video resurfaced after Ron Savage appeared on Star's Troitorian YouTube channel, The Star Chamber, to expose the sexual abuse he, Savage, himself received at the hand of Afrika Bambaataa Hassan Bey.
So, did Savage not say He say 15 now, but back then he was saying he know he assaulted me when I was 14. See, they saying run conversation and change. Run conversation ain't changed. Only thing about it is he said, well, I was lying to him, and he probably wouldn't have did the shit to me if I wouldn't have lied to him and said I was 18. But he did the shit to me when I was 14, 15, around that time, that age. But everybody mad at Ron Savage.
There is also audio of Hassan Campbell, which can be heard on our Israel Doctrine Reloaded YouTube channel of Campbell coming to, wanting to split Savage head to the white meat, for coming out and exposing Ben Battah out being a sexual predator and an abuser of other vulnerable boys over the years. Dave Wedge, October 10th, 2016.
So as you can see, I got more stuff. You can see that's Layla Wheels. Because I got this from my inbox before she unfriended me and blocked me in the inbox. That's Layla Wheels right there. Y'all know that's Layla Wheels. Oh, it was finna come out in court. She realized what she was doing and the power I had and how I would get her monkey ass locked up. She said, I'm gonna quit fucking with this boy. I can't get him behind bars and get his ass killed. I'm finna quit playing with this guy. This guy ain't nothing to play with. This guy here will fuck you up because he's about to fuck me up. But now we're going to get into the topic that I want to talk about.
Liberal arts through dramatization and controlled opposition.
Liberal arts through dramatization and controlled opposition. I don't think y'all know about this or paying attention to it.
Welcome to the Liberal Arts Through Dramatization and Controlled Opposition presentation made for you all in these YouTube streets.
For you all in these streets, in my streets, as the leader of the YouTube streets, the king, I must inform y'all about all this shit that's going on in the hip-hop community because we are a hip-hop participant over here.
In this presentation, I will be discussing how monopolies are formed online in the so-called conscious community and how you in the audience as the people need to be informed of how certain content creators are misusing liberal arts and dramatization as a distraction with the overall intent to detour group economics into specific institutions including religious, fraternal, charitable, and geopolitical organizations.
Detour group economics. Introducing religious, charitable, geopolitical organizations. Anybody that ain't with them, it's called socialism. They don't get money.
As a general definition, controlled opposition is the use of black propaganda and saboteurs who claim to oppose a particular faction but are in fact working for the faction.
So everybody claims that they're against me and they working to bring the Zulu Nation now. They're not working to bring the Zulu Nation now. They're making money off the Zulu Nation and getting y'all to enjoy the Zulu Nation. Do you not know that it's Bloods in the Zulu Nation, that it's Muslims in the Zulu Nation, that it's Moors in the Zulu Nation? All these people are amalgamated with so many degrees of separation. They either been fucked in, jumped in, or whatever. They're in the Zulu Nation because the Zulu Nation took over all the gangs in America.
Notice how the general term I found in my basic search defines controlled opposition as black propaganda. I point that out to show how the term black propaganda is a means to apply the color being used as negative, but how the color can also be applied to the group of so-called black people it is targeting.
Yes, the blacks that we're talking, these black nationalists. black YouTube carcasses on these YouTube platforms, the black sector, the beef sector, all of these people. Hassan Campbell gave these people power. You never seen or heard of these people till her son came and started ruling the YouTube streets, taking over a polite position and everything else.
This is Israel Doctrine's address created by me to speak to the so-called black sector content creators, or for so-called blacks being seen by certain content creators as the #1 target or as some of the main consumers of the products sold by individuals who are deployed or dispatched by certain white supremacy groups online, and the harm that it has caused to many people online and offline.
If you don't understand white supremacy, you don't understand nothing. And if you don't understand that LGBTQIA plus community, it's a white people's community, white people terms and all that. That's why when me and Khalil Money was talking and I wanted to debate him, I said, why don't you use the black term that was created by the black man? Same gender loving, because he know from a black perspective, he'll get eat up, but he gotta go with the LGBTQIA plus community so he can have some arguments, because they got all the scholars and everything, all the people that didn't have sex with each other and stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
This presentation is for both of the sexes and for people of all races, ethnicities, and national origins, but as it affects both men and women and does not discriminate, we all have a duty to huddle together and to see that justice prevails against the perpetrators who engage in improper propaganda against the people who are the lifeline of the government in American society.
Yes, as you see, I'm putting key terms in there, huddle together, because I have a program called a huddle, this, that, and everything. I have created organizations and things to deal with all of this stuff. That's why they'll never speak on me. They want to flag my channels. They want to do everything. They want to take me out the game, but it's hard to take a real nigga out the game.
Controlled opposition has long been used to wage war on us all socially, politically, and economically, and by specific groups who ultimately desire to amass power into the hands of the very few and against the will of the majority or the masses, who generally seek to have an equal system of justice here at home and abroad.
And y'all have seen it. Who the Wack 100 deal with? He deal with Tazariak, the Hebrew Israelite. He deal with Sagnetta TV as much as he do. He deal with 10 Toes Down. He deal with Khalil Money. He deal with certain people in the community. I done called the bitch nigga out plenty of times. He won't fuck with me. You know why he won't fuck with me? Because he run with them. They control his ass. Khalil Money and get him over there, start talking about how he down with the homosexual agenda, LGBTQIA plus shit and everything. Next thing you know, you'll see little Bloods running around California getting down with it. Then you'll be like, damn, the Bloods gay? You don't know why. Because they didn't enter into the Zulu Nation.
I want to begin early on with a more simple but significant explanation of controlled opposition that will help the average listener of this presentation relate before we get more in depth on this particular topic. So first, I will relate to the men who should all know about the modern world of wrestling, with the older men remembering the days in the mid to late 1980s where we all watched the World Wrestling Federation, or WWF, and later WWE in sports.
I've heard people talk about it lately. They reminisce about wrestling. Wrestling was one of the most controlled opposition sports there ever been.
I hope that all the men who watch this can relate to how sports and entertainment are the way liberal arts and dramatization would be used in the competitive arena of sports like wrestling to have the general audience believe that the events being staged in the world of wrestling were actually real.
You would think that it was real. I remember I told my father that and stuff. My father was like, nigga, I ain't believing you. You better get your little ass up out of here. That shit ain't real, daddy. That shit. But he loved it because he grew up watching and then deal with it. But it was all dramatization and kind of productive to those who thought it was real.
In simple terms, I myself remember the days of WrestleMania, whereas in our youth many of us may have believed that Hulk Hogan was real opposition to characters like Macho Man Randy Savage or the Iron Sheik, but as we got older, we realized the stage, or the wrestling rings, were being used to entertain us, while those characters in fact were just paid actors.
Paid actors. Remember the trucking thing that I did? 10 Toes got out of jail and was trying to get people trucking license. Whack 100 Digital Pit Boss taught him how to get trucker license and stuff. The degrees of separation is mindless.
Next, I will relate to the woman who should all know about the days where soap operas were used as an American pastime to attract the opposite sex to watch shows like All My Children and General Hospital, where many characters who also were paid actors were used to create narratives of opposition between characters as a means to create cliffhangers in order to keep the targeting audience interested in the plots and themes across each season of the soaps.
Bullet Scotty, why is Whack 100 on Clubhouse arguing with somebody like Bullet Scotty, who don't even look like he's intelligent or should be in the public meeting speaking on things and doing all this? But Bullet Scotty, they blew him up to where he a man of renown and stuff now. So he could take part in the conversation and the fights and all of this stuff. Ron Savage, Bullet Scotty, this, that, and that. They never gave me a role because they know I wouldn't play that shit. I don't play roles. I eat motherfuckers' ass up for real.
I can see more recently in the modern world of hip-hop that we have battle rap, where the general audience is made to believe that opposing rappers have real beefs with each other, or where real beefs are used to lure in large crowds to watch certain rap battlers battle over who's the best lyricist.
So, you done seen it everywhere. What else can I say to make y'all understand what controlled opposition is?
Controlled opposition is a term in the art of war where two opposing sides are used to confuse the masses and to divide people against each other. Just think of terms like problem, reaction, solution, and realize that a group of people can easily come together with a goal they want to reach, but do so by staging a problem, getting us all to react, and then those who created the problem appearing as an angel of light with their solution after the people see the problem as something real that relates to them.
You all see it. When I'm over on Sonetta's, they know how to argue and fight with each other and be gentlemanly about their arguments and fights. When I bring real topics up and real shit up, it's, oh, you ain't ready to debate. You ain't ready to do what we do. We gonna make money and we gonna fuck the community over and stuff. And unless you get down, you gonna lay down. Nah, nigga, I ain't laying down. I'm gonna go to my channel and do what the fuck I do. And say, fuck you all.
Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC being a hip-hop-based entertainment company, and my acronym of Hear Israel People Half Open Prophecy as a means to address the modern hip-hoppers, my presentation is for you all to see my thoughts on the topic in light of the conscious community online and how controlled opposition has had an effect on me and my movement as an info activist in these YouTube streets.
That's an info activist. These control niggas that's playing like they got ops and stuff has been trying to mislead y'all against me. I do this, I do that. I sit up and watch pornos with some guy and all that shit. Well, Unseen Soldier, if you knew all this shit, how did you keep that shit for so many years, but all of a sudden you come out and you drop it on the community and shit? Because niggas is paid actors.
I addressed Sonnetter of the House of Consciousness on one of his panels online recently about certain individuals who have made a name for themselves by openly attacking him at his platform and mutually attacking my platform online, as I wanted to see if he was going to address certain aspects of the attacks and which content creators affiliate with him but also roles online with those who attacks him.
So you got Khalil the Money. He's friends with Queen Strong, Leak You, all these people. When he did an interview with me, then Leak You came over, had Napa arguing and fighting with her and stuff, because Napa like this, that same bitch that was over here attacking us and stuff, because Napa don't know how the game played and they trying to run the game in front of them, but it don't work when you ain't got people in the know. Napa don't know. They'll shit on her ass so quick, and she be like, what's going on? She not even knowing that her so-called husband is feeding them shit to shit on her. But hey.
Though many may have seen me attacking Sonnetter or the conscious community online in the past, I am here to inform you all how my gripes with certain individuals in the conscious community online have always been organic, in the sense that I have real issues that I believe need to be addressed in an open forum, and so the larger online community can bear witness to those disputes.
And that's what it is. They don't want me to argue with General Yohana about Hebrew Israelite or none of that shit, because I fuck up all of their shit. And Hebrew Israelites are ignorant ass niggas that are kin to these Muslims, these Bloods, and these this and everything else. Because Hebrew Israelites are some of the same things.
I do presentations like this one to have people participate online in the discourse, and so that we can all come together and create a reasonable compensatory code to address our opposition and to create a system of equal justice as it relates to the social, political, and economic positioning in the so-called black community, or as I term many of the so-called blacks as the lost sheep of the House of Israel.
See, I deal with church ignominy, economics, church economics, right? See, I got a church. If I want to rob the community, I'm going to ask them to give God what's God's. And then all I'm going to do is hold it. Meaning if I ever need it, I can use it. And it's truly a legal way of getting money. The black nationalists don't have no way to get money. They don't have no God. They're black atheists. They're black this. They're black agnostics and all this other stuff. 10 toes down, it's a blood Muslim, whatever the fuck he is. But he don't have no way to get money unless he traffic children in illegal narcotics and shit in them trucks. And he get his buddies licensed to do it. Unseen soldier, unless they moving children and doing all this shit, they don't have money to go buy the clothes, to get the girls and do all that shit. So this is why they using control opposition. Like they really got opposition. He didn't whoop that nigga ass on what's his name? That was talking that shit up there. He ran up on him. But see, if he'd have whooped his ass and had him bleeding and doing real shit, then you knew it wasn't control, because he whooped the nigga ass, but he didn't whoop the nigga ass. But dramatization is what you need.
I recently relaunched my old blog talk radio series I call The Huddle as a means to modernize my address in these YouTube streets, and in my recent uploads I played old audio of Neely Fuller, who spoke in his day on similar solutions to the problems that plague in particular the so-called black, as opposed to the systematic racism and white supremacy being used to keep the so-called blacks impoverished and without a means to receive retribution in the modern American society.
See, y'all don't have no means for liberation. The Bible is the best liberation tool there is. That's why I called out Jabari. who's an Alpha, Phi Alpha, whatever the hell he is. I'm not no Greek nigga. I don't let people run up in my asshole and shit. So I don't know what the Greek LGBTQ ass black men do. Khalil Amani a Greek, Jabari a Greek, all these people Greek. You think you got black people on your side? No, they're Greeks. The motherfuckers in the fraternities and they in them and all that stuff, and they fucking over you, the boule.
It is my belief that many of the online content creators who are currently attacking Sonnetter and my platform have been deployed to do so by individuals like Sonnetter and to keep his platform in position to control the overall narrative online.
The overall narrative, they gonna love Sonnetter because he gonna give them fake ass solutions and everything else. They not gonna deal with the problems in the community.
This online dramatization being used improperly by certain platforms is yet another liberal arts cosplay done by people who are Mason, Eastern Stars, Greek frats and sorority members to keep the masses or general audience trapped in a never-ending cycle of confusion as they align their pockets with revenue and to keep certain people as the social influencers who they all ally with in secret.
They all ally with. That's why that debate, because I debate Jabari. I looked online one day, couldn't find it no more. Dumbass forgot to download it and have it for myself because Sonnetter couldn't let it stay up. Because Jabari couldn't deal with the comedic homosexuals. He don't have nothing to do with that. He can't talk about that shit like that because his frat brothers kill his motherfucking ass.
By employing or dispatching certain content creators to create channels designed to run improper propaganda, the general audience, which includes you all and myself as viewers of that sort of content, may become confused on who is actually for social justice online and who is being used as a distraction to keep actual in play.
So, as my brothers say, about what Newly Fully said, stop the confusion. Don't use confusing words. Don't use things like that. That's why Sonnetter has stopped using Hebrew Israelites, and he making all the Hebrew Israelites to confuse their ass. So when he showed them being sexually immoral and different stuff, he can point his finger at me and say, "Look, Carl, that's you." No, that's not me. I've been an Israelite when they was Hebrew Israelites. They're not my fucking brothers. Don't try to make them my brothers. Don't try to make them Israelites. Keep that bullshit somewhere else.
I can speak on numerous incidents online in these YouTube streets where the general audience are being abused with fake news or deepfake propaganda to push agendas for bigger content creators and organizations to grift and run scams on people who are not in the know on this sort of schemes.
Look up the word grift, because they're grifters. Bernie Madoff ass niggas.
As an example, we all should see none other than the YouTuber Hassan Poppy Campbell, an alleged childhood victim of statutory rape as a teen by Afrika Bambaataa of the Universal Zulu Nation.
You don't see me attacking Ron Savage over here, because Ron Savage has never been a part of their system. He just told the story, which is a fucked up story, and it's fucked up that he's somewhat going back. But the more I listen, I say he ain't going back. He done told his story numerous of times. He told that bitch Layla Will what it was, and she torched our terrain, Khalil the money, and everybody tried to attack him and use their control opposition to control that man.
For years my platform has been used to alert these YouTube streets that Hassan Campbell, based on my research, was not only a victim of Afrika Bambaataa but also that he was later as an adult a willing participant in the sex cult and allegations of child sex trafficking, as Hassan Campbell was an affiliate and member of the Zulu Warriors security company.
See, but they didn't confuse y'all. They don't let y'all know or remember that her son worked for the Zulu Warriors at the same damn time he was coming out. He had to quit that job because the Zulu Warriors threw his ass out. They couldn't use him as control ops. He couldn't be a control op at that point. And that's why he went over there in pictures with Bam, because he was taking pictures with Bam ass before Ron Savage even thought about it.
My research on the topic has caused various developments in the claims made online against Afrika Bambaataa by Hassan Campbell, but my main reason in speaking on that in this presentation is to show how, in order to confuse the audience on the truth about who Hassan Campbell is, many YouTube channels were created or employed to run negative stories on Hassan.
So everybody that talk about Hassan, Zip the Drip, and all these bitch ass niggas out here that's talking the shit, you'll never hear them say my name, but they got their story for me. So learn about opposition, but learn about those that's being controlled to be opposition.
The negative press run on Hassan Campbell by certain platforms was done so that the general audience cannot discern what is real and what is fake, or who seeks real justice and how it has been employed and or dispatched to circumvent justice as it relates to the topic of child sex trafficking in the Universal Zulu Nation and its affiliate.
See? And that's why Khalil got in it, because his hip-hop boss, DJ K. Slate, was one of the main traffickers of the Zulu Nation. He's been part of the gang, the Black Space, and he's been a part of the Zulu Nation. And he used to go get boys for Bam to fuck. He may have even trafficked that boy to Bam the night that he got fucked. He got his dick sucked and shit.
The controlled opposition used to keep Hassan Campbell's grifting in play online in the YouTube streets also involves individuals who work with or have ties directly to the executives of Google to shadow ban and censor certain channels like this one to keep the racketeering and influence his platform in place. And while the general audience is unaware of what they are donating to and what their funds are being accumulated for in relations to stories like Hassan of childhood sexual abuse, but with no justice ever being obtained in the court of law.
No justice. If we can't find justice, there's not supposed to be peace. But see, they keep y'all ass sued with their entertainment. Khalil the Money gonna get over there on 10 toes tonight and talk about Yahweh ben Yahweh. Nigga, you can only talk about that shit for so long. You done told everybody's story. Tell us the story about Bambaataa, Hassan Campbell, and everything else, the shit you currently in. He don't talk about that shit though. The YouTube street queen give him the ability and the power to talk shit.
What I am speaking of is as it relates to Hassan Campbell and the controlled opposition of many other individuals like Khalil Amani, who is a teacher for the Sonnetter TV and House of Consciousness platform, and that they are all playing the game of Monopoly in these YouTube streets with their goal, from my experience and interactions with them, of stealing the hearts and minds of the people or you, the viewing audience, under false pretenses.
See, when Khalil Amani was with me, I was supposed to be working with the feds. I was supposed to be doing this, all kind of shit, because I was really opposition. I want control. Then I gave Sonnetter and all them niggas Khalil, y'all can have this nigga. If y'all can bend him over and fuck him, bend him over and fuck him. I don't give a fuck about this old ass nigga and whatever. And they got their hands on them, bit this ass over and fucked them. And now Khalil the Money in the community fucking people.
What I am speaking of is as it relates to Hassan Campbell and the controlled opposition of many other individuals like Khalil Amani, who is a teacher for the Sonnetter TV and House of Consciousness platform, and that they are all playing the game of Monopoly in these YouTube streets with their goal, from my experience and interactions with them, of stealing the hearts and minds of the people or you, the viewing audience, under false pretenses. The same applies when it comes to Sonnetter TV and his former affiliations with Brother Polite, who is now doing 7 years in a prison for pleading guilty to allegations of child abuse, including sexual assault of a minor.
So that's why all these bitches and hoe ass niggas and shit out here trying to make me a pedophile. I'm surprised they ain't like he fucking boys. They said, well, he fucked the girl, this and that, because they know I don't fuck with no boys. But they try to put that shit on me. But they can't put their finger on me because they'll never get my true mind.
Controlled opposition, so the general audience gets my point, would be Sonnetter, knowing that Brother Polite, who has now been convicted of sex crimes, runs the real risk of having an organic anti-movement against what his platform has promoted online over the years.
But see, they brothers. Polite come out of jail, he gonna be right back on Sonnetter TV.
In Sonnetter, knowing that an organic opposition was forming against him, he decided that since he could not beat the audience forming organically, then he could only stay in position by joining the crowd and by dispatching to oppose him, or by employing certain content creators to attack him, and by him doing so he has effectively created a better control on his real opposition.
Better control on his real who was his opposition? Judah Nash. Judah Nash was his opposition, cussing him out, cussing his wife out, talking about you were no good, whatever. I ain't gonna call her no names and stuff. But he treated that woman like she was a piece of shit. Arguing and fought with her and everything. Now they the best of friends. They getting YouTube money together.
By doing this sort of counterintelligence tactics against the actually real people who have real problems with his platform, and how what and who he promotes have caused harm to many communities online and offline, Sonnetter uses the fake channels created for attacking him, all while he is in league with those same channels in the private.
In league with them. That's why you see Sonnetter, he finally started being forgiving, because he would never forgive me. He let me over there and stuff, but you can see that he still got animosity with me because I beat up on his motherfucking friends. I beat up on Khalil bitch ass. I beat up on Layla. I beat up on Troy Star Terrain. I Smoke Hip Hop. I beat up all these bitch ass niggas and shit.
Controlled opposition has been a tactic for many years used to keep channels like Hassan Campbell in play, and the fake opposition to channels has helped to fuel claims he makes to his donors that they are sponsoring a war for him to wage online under the false guise that a war is being waged against him, when instead it is him that is scamming and waging economic war against us all in these YouTube streets.
So, Sonnetter, go flag their channel, go do this. That's why you hear them bitch ass niggas cry. Sonnetter said flag. I don't play that flag and shit because it's not real. Unless you can take a channel out, why are you over there flagging? You can flag my shit. All you gonna do is make my shit strong, because I'm gonna say, look at these bitch ass niggas trying to take my channel. Not knowing all the while you trying to take my channel, my shit then went elsewhere. My shit on other channels. You know how many channels I got? Then how many do I got that you don't know shit about? See, you got to become smarter than these niggas out here that's doing all this shit. I seen that bitch Leak You flagging my channel and all that. She went from flagging my channel saying I'm giving this nigga more power to let me spread a lie about this nigga.
The same controlled opposition with Brother Polite before his conviction is being used for Hassan Campbell currently, and I have been an info activist on the cover-ups of these individuals and their affiliate for years. As an example, many forget that in the earlier days in the YouTube streets, it was actually expressed that the founders of the actual House of Consciousness, or the individuals who are in the actual corporate charter, are Sonnetter, Brother Polite, Minister Enki, and Sutek.
Yeah, y'all don't know who the House of Consciousness is, do you? Sonnetter, Brother Polite, Minister Enki, and Sutek. Y'all remember when they used to fight and shit? You see Sutek took his ass to Georgia and left all them niggas alone. Y'all see that bitch ass nigga Minister Enki and 10 Toes arguing and fighting and shit? It's all for the House of Conscious person.
My point is, as people separate Brother Polite from Sonnetter TV for Brother Polite scamming or causing economic hardship for many over the years, not seeing that the House of Consciousness as an institution was always said to be co-founded by Brother Polite in the earlier days in the YouTube streets.
So this don't mean nothing to y'all though, right? But this info activist is getting info out here.
The same applies for Hassan Campbell, who I have called the spiritual nephew of Brother Polite, as I found out that some years prior to him coming out against Afrika Bambaataa, he was seen working for Zulu Warriors Security and attending a Sonnetter TV event, and then later I find that he is said to be the cousin of a relative married to a relative of 10 Toes Down TV, who the cousin of Sonnetter.
Who's gonna be sexing Khalil Money tonight?
Controlled opposition has been used countless times to grift and to scam money from the masses of users who frequent the YouTube streets and online in general. I have been a platform who has organically combated these unethical practices for years.
The only platform. That's why I get treated like a bitch.
When I was recently on the panel with Sonnetter, I pointed out to him how people he openly affiliates with have been at odds with my platform and my affiliate, and how those individuals also occupy platforms I see has been attacking him, and I challenged Sonnetter to address those affiliations, as I see them as controlled opposition, when he fails to address who is who amongst them.
Queen said, I want to speak to Sonnetter. Got that bitch ass nigga Khalil panties in a bunch. Why she won't talk to Sonnetter, this and that. See, she like to show her hand. I don't show my hand.
I make these challenges of controlled opposition so the viewing audience can see the responses I get, and even when I get no response, so they can discern who is actually really making dispute for justice on issues and who is just making fake issues to circumvent those who have real issues.
Circumvent.
I hope that everyone can see why I prepare this presentation, as it is to be used to help you all related to many online disputes you may have seen being had in these YouTube streets, and that many disputes have been created as nothing more than controlled opposition.
Control opposition.
I want you all to learn from my presentation and get affiliated with the right platforms that are really out here fighting for social justice as it pertains to activism in these YouTube streets for the so-called Black, the S-called Hispanic or Latino, the so-called white, the so-called Asian, or for modern Israelite communities.
Israelite communities. Fuck these Hebrew Israelites.
If you would like to hear me speak more on this topic, you can watch my previous reloaded video on this channel titled Gatekeepers and Controlled Opposition, or you can leave me a comment or contact me at israeldoctrinereloaded@gmail.com. Also, you can check out the series I did recently on the Conscious Community Truckers parts 1 through 5.
Somewhat promoting other videos I did talking about this, because if you don't hear the other things, you don't understand truly what's going on.
I will close this presentation with a few Bible verses for edification of the viewers from the book of Psalms, King James Version, chapter 73, verse 12 through verse 28. 12 Behold, these are the ungodly, who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. 13 Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency.14, for all the day long have I been plagued, and chastened every morning. 15 If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. 16 When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. 17 Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I there. And 18 Surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou castedst them down into destruction. 19 How are they brought into desolation, as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. 20 As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. 21 Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. 22 So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. 23 Nevertheless I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. 24 Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory. 25 Whom have I in heaven but thee? There is none upon earth that I desire beside thee. 26 My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart, and my portion forever. 27 For, lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a whoring from thee. 28 But it is good for me to draw near to God. I have put my trust in the Lord God, that I may declare all thy works.
All his works. Take heed to the saying, people. I'm closing out like I always do. It's one look closer to an hour today, but really these 30, 40-minute shows. But here we go.
Hit the like, share the video and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get a notification when we get ready for another powerful presentation.
So, what more to say?
We motherfuckers just wanna bring you down, bring you down, jealous motherfuckers. See, when you on top, motherfuckers just wanna bring you down. Look, wanna bring you down, bring you down. We motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down. I give a fuck about a hater. Avoid with the gator. Yellow nigga, but you're not on my rap radar. You can ask Elliot, they delicate. I differentiate subject from predicate. I'm unfuckwittable. You better off celibate. These fools are on no BGB. I relish it. Prophecy can't do nothing nowadays. They'll tell us shit. Why you mind in my business? Let's show it's irrelevant. We motherfuckers running around here. Know a little of everything about nothing. They know who drive what, whose booty is fake, whose titties is real, who hurt you today, who's behind on their house, who's leaving they spouse. They know the term from the divorce and alimony is met. Who pops what bill, who's safe in they weed, weak ass might as well work in DMC. We motherfuckers, bring you down, bring you down. We motherfuckers, bring you down, bring you down. We motherfuckers, bring you down. Jealous motherfucker, yeah. Old goof ass niggas, VIP talking old goofy ass niggas. Online shopping fake Gucci ass niggas. They got the nerve to stuff fake bougie ass niggas. Wanna bring you down, don't wanna do your work, don't wanna wear your crown. Think they deserve your house, deserve to drive your car, like they survived your star, to help you right so far. They take your risk, but want what's on your wrist. Never felt your pain, but wanna wear your chain. They wanna reap your harvest without enduring the rain. Can't see a nigga sacrifice, they blinded by pain. They don't feel your stress, oblivious to the struggle. Can't see the forest for the trees, oblivious to the jungle. We survived in the belly, the beast damn near swallowed us. So fuck you and your bitch ass followers, you weak motherfuckers. Wanna bring you down. Bring you down. We motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Bring you down. We motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Bring you down. We motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Jealous motherfuckers.
Don't have sex tonight, but it could be. Let's take a look at it. Like you think about it, right, y'all. Time to eat beans. Yeah, y'all hear me chopping that cornbread up and eat beans. I'm out.